The good news is Walt Disney World has announced plans to reopen. But in the process, I kind of feel like people like me have gotten scammed. Welcome everyone, I'm Mark. This is the Average Me channel. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to ask that you click my face in the corner to subscribe. And don't forget to ring that bell icon up above so you know when I post new videos. Boy, it seems like things are changing daily. And I've not been doing a lot of videos on the reopening of Disney, but they just announced what I think is tantamount to dropping a bombshell. And let me go back a little bit and explain the process and what's happened to people like me who have had reservations before Disney closed. So I had reservations to return to Disney World in April. And of course, when April came, the parks had closed. So we got notification saying that they're so sorry the parks closed. They realize this is an inconvenience. And in order to entice and encourage people to rebook, what they did is they offered a free dining plan. That's right. You could get a free dining plan to be included with your stay at Walt Disney World. And I thought, well, this sounds like a pretty good idea. So I figured, well, things might be kind of settled down by September. And this is going back a month or two. This might be going back to March when they first announced the closing. So our reservation was canceled, and we called up to make a similar reservation in September. And of course, I wanted the free dining plan that they offered. Now, I'm an annual pass holder, as you can tell by the magnets behind me. And they said in order to get this package, this free dining plan, you had to buy a package that included a room with park admission. And I said, well, I already have park admission. We're annual pass holders, both my wife and me. And they said, no, we can't do that. But what we can do is if you buy your park tickets, the next year, when it's time to re-up your annual pass, you can have that applied to the annual pass. And I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. What they're doing is sort of forcing my hand to not only return to Disney, but to buy another annual pass next year. All right. I figured, well, that's still not bad. I'll probably buy an annual pass next year. So we went ahead with it. Now we got this email. I have to read this to you in order for everything to make sense. An important Walt Disney World update. As we plan for the reopening of our Disney resort hotels and theme parks, we are keeping the well-being of our guests and cast in mind. And we're here to help you as we introduce new measures focused on delivering an enjoyable and magical experience for everyone who visits. To manage attendance and foster physical distancing during this unprecedented time, we'll be changing and suspending some theme park and Disney Resort hotel experiences, including the temporary suspension of extra magic hours. Now, for those of you who don't know what extra magic hours are, if you're a resort guest, they will pick a park sometime during the week and either let you enter the park early or stay at the park late. Now, how that is managing physical distances is beyond me. Because in theory, extra magic hours should have fewer people than regular hours. So this just seems to me to not be completely telling the truth. But let's go on. In addition, we will also be introducing a new theme park reservation system. You will receive access to the theme park reservation system before new tickets are sold to other guests. Now here comes the unfortunately, and this is where I felt this is a scam. But let me read it to you and you can give me your thoughts. Unfortunately, these new measures have also required us to cancel any dining reservations, experience reservations, and fast pass selections you may have made. As a result of physical distancing, Capacity in restaurants and availability of dining experiences is very limited, and certain experiences such as character dining cannot be provided. Because of this, we have also made the difficult decision to cancel and temporarily no longer offer Disney dining plans. Now, think about what they just said. They offered Disney dining plans as the incentive for people to rebook. They said, this is what we're giving you. People rebooked, and then they took it away. Now, of course, they're not going to charge you for it, but that is the way they got you to rebook. And I think that is incredibly dishonest. It doesn't make any sense to me. If you are going to have restaurants open, what's wrong with having the dining plans? It makes sense to me if you are not going to have the restaurants open. If you're going to close the restaurant venues, then the dining plans don't make sense. But if the restaurants are going to be open, people that already paid for those meals in those restaurants should get that service. Now, you might be thinking, well, you didn't pay for it. I know, but we were enticed to rebook by that offer. And now that we're rebooked, they're taking the offer off the table. But think about people like me, and I'm sure there's a lot of us who had to go through all of that extra rigmarole and jump through all those hoops to get that free incentive. I not only had to rebook, but I had to rebook and buy park passes I didn't even need. And they say those park passes are going to be applied to an annual pass that I may or may not buy. And as much as I hate to say this, with all of this, I don't know if I'm inclined to renew my annual pass. Because we're going to read something else in just a minute that applies to pass holders, and it kind of adds further discouragement. But do you see what they did here? They offered something, and then when people followed through with the offer, they took that away. We recognize the inconvenience this poses, and we're deeply sorry. We will modify your package to remove the dining plan that we offered you as an incentive to rebook. They didn't say that part. I added it. As an accommodation, the price of the package will be adjusted to reflect a 35% savings on the room portion. Hold the phone. So that means it still has to be a package. I will only benefit from that 35% if I continue to keep the park passes that I do not need. I don't know. It's crazy. This modified package and price will be provided in a new confirmation. You will receive a refund of the difference in the package price if you've already paid in full, or a reduction in the amount due if you have not made a final payment. So I get 35% off the room, but I still bought park passes that I don't need. There's nothing you need to do at this time. We'll be contacting you shortly with more details about the process to secure new reservations, including our new dining and experience reservation window, which will accommodate selections up to 60 days prior to arrival to allow for planning closer to your visit. So they are still taking dining reservations up to 60 days before, but they're not going to honor dining packages. I don't see the logic. At this time, while systems update, we are temporarily suspending all modifications. However, you have the option of canceling your entire reservation. We're putting a great deal of thought into helping you return to the magic and appreciate your patience. It doesn't seem very magical. They're taking away dining plans, they're taking away extra magic hours. People are going to be walking around with masks. And I'll tell you the other thing that really is troubling. If all of this is true, all of this social distancing and all of this awareness of passing along the virus, are we still pushing a finger on the pad as we go into the park? Is someone still digging through all our packages? Because unless they're going to look through someone's package, take off gloves, put new gloves in, go through someone's package, take off gloves, put new gloves on, you are running the same risk of coughing or anything else. Matter of fact, probably worse, because you have physical items that will be transferring to the hand and then transferred to the next bag or purse or backpack of physical items. I don't know how they can justify one and not the other. For more information, please visit DisneyWorld.com or call 407 Walt Disney. Now, let's look at the annual pass holder message. Update on Walt Disney World theme parks reopening. Dear Value Pass holder, in case you missed it, this week we shared some big news about Walt Disney World Resort, including plans to welcome guests back to the theme parks as part of a phased reopening beginning July 11th. We truly can't wait to welcome our pass holders back. Now, pass holders were told that during the time the park is closed, that section of your annual pass will be added to the end of your pass. It'll be extended. But what they didn't say is there's going to be all these restrictions. I live in Wisconsin. I can't just drive to Walt Disney World on a whim. This is something that has to be planned. I planned my April vacation, which I couldn't go to, fine. But now, starting July 11th, with all these restrictions, with the unmagical experience, that is going to be the date that they count as park reopening, and I no longer get the extensions to the annual pass. I'll say this, I really don't feel like I am being valued by Disney. This is frustrating, and I don't think this is the frustration talking. I really thought this through, and I think that Disney, if not an outright scam, they were really sneaky about doing things to try to get people to keep booking vacations and to feel good about them, just to pull the rug out from under them. You know, I kind of know what it feels like now to be a bride who was left at the altar. Yeah, you're no worse off than you were, but good Lord, did you have a lot of frustration and disappointment and expectations taken away from you in the process? Well, this is a lot to digest and a lot to absorb. Am I being a big baby, or do you think that there is some validity to my commentary? I would love to hear from you. As always, I encourage you to like and share the videos. Leave your comments down below. If you haven't already, please subscribe by clicking my face in the corner, and don't forget to ring that bell icon. That's a lot of pointing, isn't it? So you know when I post new videos. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'm Mark, and this is the Average Me Channel.